Reaching the final frontier of conversation. We're about to meet Thailand's biggest Star Trek fans. I'm on the Starship Enterprise, and you are watching Trends. Hey, Mr Spock, can you beam me back down to Bangkok? I need to start this latest episode of Trends.
Understood, Captain.
Oh, I hate that transporter feeling. I'm with Mr Prayoon, who by day is a technician working in a pathology department of a hospital, and at night he is an author, a collector of memorabilia, and Thailand's #1 Star Trekker. Hello, Mr Prayoon.
Hello.
Mr Prayoon, can you tell us about the Thai Sci-Fi Club that you founded?
เมื่อเราก่อน
In the past, before 2005, we had a research project specifically on Thai scientific literature. In our findings, we discovered two types of science books. One was documentaries that traced back 100 years, while the other was science fiction novels. We noticed that the sci-fi novel genre was scarce. So, we thought of establishing a club to promote writing, reading, and producing science fiction novels to generate more interest in the genre among young people.
Does Star Trek have a following in Thailand? And was it bigger in 1980 or is it big today?
ในอดีตก็ค่อนข้างมีผู้ติดตามเยอะนะครับเพราะว่ามันเข้ามาฉายในทีวี
In the past, there were quite a few followers because Star Trek was featured on Thai TV since around 1967. It continued until the late 70s. During this time, Star Trek, the original series, was introduced to the Thai audience on television, and soon after Star Trek the motion picture was released in
ภาพยน
cinemas.
ตร์คือเป็น motion picture เข้าฉายในโรง
Star Trek was translated into Thai for magazines and books. These attracted more followers. However, as a few years passed, the number of followers decreased due to a decline in TV series related to science fiction.
เพราะเนื่องจากทีวีไทยไม่ได้เอาซีรีส์พวกซีรีส์เข้าฉายอีก
It wasn't until the TV streaming era that people began showing more interest in sci-fi, as it became easily accessible through various internet platforms and digital TV programming. However, forming a club to gather those interested in sci-fi still lacked the necessary momentum.
ยังไม่ค่อยมีพลังที่จะทำเรื่องนี้สักเท่าไหร่
Why are you so passionate about Star Trek?
จริงๆผมเป็นคนชอบ
Personally, I enjoy watching sci-fi movies, including both hardcore and soft science fiction. I appreciate Star Trek, which is different from Star Wars. Star Trek predates Star Wars and is closer to real life and science. It allows us to extract scientific advancements, human relationships, and explore various moral stories through conflicts. Star Wars, on the other hand, is more focused on fantasy and the Force, which doesn't exist in real life. Traveling at the speed of light is still a distant reality. Star Trek offers more interesting scientific explanations.
Who's your favorite character in Star Trek?
จริงๆมีหลายคน
There are many popular characters in Star Trek, but I have a few favorites, such as Seven of Nine. She is a strong and cool woman. Captain Pike, Captain James T. Kirk, and Captain Archer from the series Enterprise. It's hard to name my most favorite character as each of them has their own unique character.
The Star Trek franchise is enormous and stretches over many decades. There's the original series from the 1960s that I grew up on. There's the latest incarnation with Star Trek Strange New Worlds and a host of movies and series in between. What's your favorite Star Trek?
ผมคิดว่า Original Star Trek
I think Star Trek Original series and Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Enterprise. These three I think are the best.
สำหรับผมเป็น Star Trek ที่ดีมาก
Strange New Worlds is also good.
ก็ดีครับ
In fact, I like them all.
แต่ว่า3ซีซั่นแรก
But the first three series of Enterprise gave me the inspiration, as it was the first time mankind ventured into space to explore the universe while they were not fully ready to troubleshoot the problems without advanced technology like that in Strange New Worlds or Discovery.
Strange New World หรือ Discovery นะครับ
Therefore, Star Trek Enterprise is quite interesting.
ค่อนข้างจะน่าสนใจ
I have to put my glasses on for this question and I have to read this. The Star Trek science fiction franchise, comprising of 12 television series, 13 films, 4 companion series, numerous novels, comics, video games, reference works, podcasts, conventions, role-playing games, along with thousands of collectibles. Is there a Star Trek memorabilia market in Thailand?
ตลาดของสะสม Star Trek ไทยมีนะครับแต่ว่าจำนวนคนที่ชอบ
There is a collectible market in Thailand for Star Trek memorabilia, but the number of collectors is smaller than Star Wars. This is probably because the marketing for Star Trek is not very good.
เขายังอะไรอย่างดิสนีย์เข้ามาส่ง
If you look at Disney, they promote Star Wars through events and activities with movies and merchandise. But Trek and Paramount doesn't show interest in these aspects. Therefore, gathering fans or increasing interest in Star Trek is difficult without strong support from the parent company.
Kun Prayoon, you've got memorabilia going back a few decades. Can you share with us a few of your collectibles? So we've got Star Trek, and amazingly, this is VHS.
in Thai language
Thai language?
Yeah.
Wow. And what year would this have been available in Thailand?
1990
1990. Wow. Then I see.
pocket book
Oh, really? So these are pocketbook.
about 1980
So in Thai, around 1980 era,
this book Star Trek motion picture this is Wrap-Up Card
so this would be quite collectible now. Very good. And then I see a magazine here. So that's got Star Trek The Enterprise on the cover. And when does that, what date is that?
1983
Wow. And it's in Thai. And would this just be a special, or was it a monthly edition, or just a special
monthly
monthly? And again, a great collectible. Then I see there's another piece of collectible here, and we've got Star Trek characters here, cartoon style, and oh my goodness. So a comic storybook basically. Very
from
fragile.
original Star Trek
Yeah,
but หน้าปก
yeah. It's adapted for the Thai market, and only 6 baht back in the day. Amazing, absolutely amazing. You've got an incredible collection there.
that and I have my pet
Triple.
triple
And Kun Prayoon, you've written 2 books. Can you tell us about those books?
งานที่ผมเคยเขียนนะครับก็ช่วง
The writing projects that I have done started in 2006. I wrote about collecting items such as toys, because before that, I was a volunteer in a private museum.
ในพิพิธภัณฑ์เอกชนแล้วเรามีของได้รับบริจาคมามากมายซึ่งผมก็เลยเกิดความคิดว่าในเมื่อ
As we received many donated collectible items, it gave me the idea to bring them together to create knowledge for the younger generations.
เล่มแรกเกี่ยวกับการสะสมของเล่นชื่อ Toy and Memorial
So, I wrote my first book about collecting toys called Toy and Memories. And 10 years later, I wrote my second book, which was about collecting general items such as portrait photos, rare books, everyday items such as banknotes, coins and stamps and other items.
แต้มอะไรพวกนี้ก็เกิดเป็นหนังสือเล่มที่สองเพื่อชื่อสะสมเพื่อความสุข
My second book was titled Collecting for Happiness.
Collecting for Happiness
Kun Prayoon, thank you for meeting with us today and sharing your passion for Star Trek and science fiction memorabilia. At this point, I'm going to bring in your fellow Star Trekker, Kun Charlie, and have a conversation with him. Kun Charlie, come in.
Glad to see you.
Great to meet you, Kun Charlie.
Live long and prosper. Glad to see you.
Thank you, Kun Charlie. When did you start to follow Star Trek?
More than 30 years. At that time, there are also the original series and next generation. But my favorite series is OST, original series. The star I love it, Dr. McCoy.
And you got the outfit.
Uniform, jumpsuit, or some badge or anything.
What do your family say about Star Trek and you being a fan?
Oh, Charlie, go ahead. Don't worry if you don't come back home.
Is there a big following of Star Trek in Thailand?
Our people in many, sometimes it's called Star Trek Fan Club. It's very small. Sometimes it's a follower. Some group is interesting. And some group is just only ping when we have a movie or any show, okay, they follow a little, after that they leave. But I think if in the future, people may be interested about Star Trek more.
With the original series of Star Trek that came out around 1967, 1968, was that screened on television in Thailand?
Certainly. At that time I was grade 7 in the black and white television in cathode. And at that time I just was a little boy. Many things I remember. Okay, like your uniform.
Kun Charlie, thank you so much for being with us here today and sharing your story about Star Trek. I'd like to invite your fellow Star Trekker to join us again, Kun Prayoon. Thank you so much for sharing your story as well about Star Trek Fan Club in Thailand. Or actually, I should say the Thai Sci-Fi Club in Thailand that you founded. And thank you for watching this latest episode of Trends. If you like the episode, then stay tuned for next week.
Live long and prosper.